I'm about to drop a theory that will make you rethink everything you know about Rodger, the magnifying glass, with a knack for investigation. But if I told you, Rodger is not just a curious detective poking around for Icor secrets, but if he's a double agent, secretly working for the mysterious Delilah to funnel data back to her. Let's piece together why Rodger might be playing a dangerous game behind the scenes. First, let's talk about Rodger's origins. His introduction describes him as a detective-like toon created specifically to research Icor. But why? Icor is the lifeblood of Dandy's world, tied to the toon's existence and the twisted experiments in the Garden View Center. Who would need a toon tailor-made to dig into Icor's secrets? Enter Delilah, a shadowy figure whose motives are murky at best, but definitely not aligning with Archer. Check my earlier video about her, by the way. But if Rodger was designed or recruited by Delilah to gather intel on Icor's properties, its effects on toons, and maybe even Dandy himself, his creation screams special operative, and the fact that his intro card once mistakenly called him a spyglass instead of a magnifying glass. That's no typo, that's a clue. Rodger is not just observing, he is spying. Rodger's actions only deepen the suspicion. He's always in a rush, saying things like, "I don't have time for all of these activities," mid-run, and "It would be a great pleasure if this was finished sooner rather than later." Why the hurry, Rodger? Most toons are caught up in the survival runs, dodging twisted and collecting Icor, but Rodger acts like he's on a different mission, one with a deadline. He's out here interviewing toons like Sprout, who flat out refuses to talk to him, and even V and Sprout throw shade with lines like, "Sure, Rodger, sure." They don't trust him. And it's not just because he's noisy. The main character toons, especially those close to Dandy, seem to sense he's not being straight with them. Could they suspect he's feeding their secrets to someone like Delilah? Speaking of relationships, Rodger's got beef with most of the main character toons, except for Shelly, who seems to tolerate him. Why the tension? These toons like Sprout and V are likely key players in Dandy's inner circle, and Rodger's constant interrogations about Icor and their activities probably feel like a betrayal. His interest in their status and connections with Dandy suggests he is digging for dirt info Delilah could use to manipulate or control the Garden View situation. But here's the kicker. Rodger gets along just fine with Toodles, Exxon, and indirectly Dandy. Why these toons? Toodles is young and trusting, less likely to question Rodger's motives. Rodger also acts as a dad figure for Toodles for some reason. Exxon, meanwhile, drops hints about Dandy hiding eggs during the Easter event, suggesting a cozy collaboration between Exxon, Dandy, and maybe even Rodger. This warm friendship circle could be a cover for Rodger to get close to Dandy, the ultimate target of Delilah's schemes. Then there's Rodger's conversation with Astro, who tries to nudge him toward a new hobby, anything other than his Icor obsession. Astro's gentle push feels like a warning, like he's picking up on Rodger's unhealthy fixation. But Rodger doesn't budge. His focus on Icor research and toon interviews is relentless, almost like he's under orders. If Delilah's pulling the strings, Rodger's single-minded pursuit makes sense. He's not just curious, he's on a mission to deliver results. And if he's reporting back to Delilah, every piece of data he collects, from Sprout's silence to Dandy's egg-hiding habits, could be ammunition for her larger plan. Clisten's conversations with Rodger are also worth noting. It seems that Clisten is telling about his insecurities to Rodger, which is quite unusual because many other toons don't trust Rodger. They seem to have quite friendly relation. Actually, really friendly relation, because in Toodles' conversation with Clisten, Toodles says that Clisten is crying and complaining to Rodger, to which Clisten answered in an embarrassed way and wanted to stop talking. Also, if you look at Rodger's appearance, he looks like a businessman. And in his full icon, he carries a brown suitcase with him. Something worth mentioning is also he used to be in the Icor purchase screen, as if he is the one selling the Icor to the player for Robux. So let's tie it all together. Picture this. Delilah, a mastermind working in the shadows, needs eyes and ears inside Garden View. She recruits Rodger, a toon built for investigation, to infiltrate the toon's ranks. His detective persona is the perfect cover. Nobody questions a magnifying glass asking questions. He goes up to less suspicious toons, stays neutral with Shelly, and keeps tabs on Dandy's inner circle, all while feeding Delilah critical data on Icor and the toon's dynamic. His hurry, his secrecy, and the distrust he inspires all point to a toon with divided loyalties. And that spyglass slip in his intro, it's practically a confession. Now you might be thinking maybe Rodger's just a dedicated detective, not a double agent. Fair point, but his urgency and the toon's distrust suggest more than just enthusiasm. If he were truly on their side, why would Sprout and V treat him like a liar? Another counter could be that his friendship with Toodles and Exxon shows he's a good guy. But those friendships could be easily strategic, a way to blend in and gain trust while he pursues Delilah's agenda. The evidence stacks up too neatly to dismiss. Rodger's story is a puzzle, and the pieces point to a toon playing both sides. Is he a loyal detective unraveling Icor's mysteries, or a double agent betraying his fellow toons to Delilah? Truth might lie in the shadows of Garden View, waiting for us to shine a light on it. What do you think, Dandy's World fans? Is Rodger a traitor, or am I reading too much into his magnifying glass? Drop your thoughts below. Honestly, straightforward, I can say that I believe that Rodger is Delilah's agent. I think Rodger is not a good guy. I always had this feeling that Rodger is not part of the good guys. He's just too suspicious, he just stands out too much. While the other toons are expressive and even happy looking, Rodger is really focused and serious, and it's just not typical. It's as if there has been a toon that was made just to specialize into investigating Icor and taking part of the show as a side hustle.